Hey, it's Oscar week, and I'm starting to take a look at some of my favorite films from the past year, just rewatching them for a second time, and just sort of letting them wash over me. I'm also trying to figure out my final best of 2022 categories, and this is kind of helping me do it for some films that I haven't seen in a while. So, this is my second look at Good Luck to You, Leo Grande. Remember, I am a blind film critic, so I watch films with audio description, and it says audio description on Hulu. It's my second time seeing it. I saw it back in June when it first dropped onto Hulu, and I fell in love with it. I mean, back then it was the bee's knees. I immediately wanted to like adapt it into a play and just do it and perform and get two people to perform it. I was like, man, this is so easy to turn into stage play if it isn't already. Like if this is not already a stage work, it should be. There really isn't much in here that could not be turned around. The second time through, you just, I don't know, you just gain a greater appreciation for the nuance in the performances. It's like you know what to expect. You know sort of the beats that are coming. You know where the movie's going to end up. And for a film like this that is so contained and confined, you find yourself thinking, okay, so what are the little things that Emma Thompson is bringing to her character? What are the little things that Daryl McCormick is bringing to his character? And just how great are they? Now, luckily, both of these people were nominated at the BAFTAs in their respective categories, lead actor and lead actress, because it's been a tough award season. And, I mean, we lost Danielle Detweiler, and I didn't think that was going to happen. So, even more so than Viola Davis, I'm more surprised we lost Danielle Detweiler out of the Best Actress race. So, the fact that Emma Thompson being nominated for a film in June, I didn't really think, I didn't think it was actually going to happen. But I'm really glad that the BAFTAs found space for her, because it's such a tremendous performance. I think maybe we just need more slots. We're producing a lot of films, and especially streaming allows for more content because you can do a limited qualifying run and then end up becoming a pretty major release on the streaming service. So you don't have to worry about your weekend box office because your primary goal is to bring in streaming subscribers. So it's almost like we're getting more content. Arguably, All Quiet on the Western Front is the greatest example of that. I don't know what box office it made, but I'm assuming it's like probably probably down there with Andrea Riseborough's To Leslie. I don't think it's that much. So it would be nice if we could perhaps expand the nominees. There are other awards bodies that go to 6. Maybe we can go to 10. I don't know. I go to 10. I have a hard time getting 10. I'm thinking about next year about not having numbers. To be quite honest, in my best of lists, and just actually celebrating the best of and not putting a limit on that. And if there are 17 great supporting actors performances, then there's 17. If there are 9, then there are 9. And just letting it fluctuate based on which performances I really want to talk about, and the same for every other category. But everybody likes top 10 lists. I think that's David Letterman's fault. No. Yeah, so anyway, Emma Thompson's brilliant in this. I think it's the best performance she's given in years. It's the kind of, it feels lived in. It feels effortless. It feels almost like something she's been building towards her whole career. Feels like it was written for her. It feels like almost improvised. Like the dialogue isn't her. Like the dialogue isn't written for her. It is her. There's so much in her character. It is such a great performance. from Emma Thompson, and it's easy to just write it off as, oh, it's comedic, or it's funny, or it's that awkward sex comedy. It's not really a comedy. It's very awkward. This is a film about a woman who has really only had sex with one person her entire life. Wasn't great. He's dead now, and she wants to see what else is out there, but she also is a realist. She knows that she's not necessarily attractive. The only people that seem to be attracted in her are older than her, and she wants, if she's going to try to have sex with a second person, she wants it to be spectacular. She just wants just a shot at spectacular sex. And so, yeah, she hires an escort, which is Daryl McCormick, and they go from there. But she is so nervous, and she's so uncomfortable, and she makes you feel like she's uncomfortable, not just with the situation, but in her own skin. She's scared, she's overwhelmed. It's a performance that's sort of ever evolving and ever changing. It's a brilliant performance, and I'm sad it wasn't nominated this year, but it is one of my favorite films from the past year, and something that you'll be hearing a lot about in my best of 2022 lists. I did nominate it for Best Original Screenplay because, as far as my knowledge, it's not adapted from anything. So this was in my top 10 for Best Adapted Screenplay. This is the only list that, as of the recording of my review, that I've put it in so far. So, Daryl McCormick's great in this too. That was on the second viewing. It kind of sufficed. It kind of sufficed to answer some questions, I guess you could say, is what I'm trying to say. It, like, I had him, I'm trying to figure out who my top 10 best actors are, and I kind of had him bubbling on the bottom, and I'm trying to think of, like, okay, so I have to have these people, and I'm trying to figure out the last couple of people on my list, and this just reminded me, and I just looked at it and I was like, man, he's really good. I mean, he just focuses on her, and it's the kind of performance that almost could be written off and thrown away, because Emma Thompson seems to be the one doing all the acting, but he just remains focused, and he just remains calm, and every time she gets, the more nervous she gets, he just kind of brings her back. And then finally, when things turn and she reveals to him that she looked him up and knows who he is, I mean, it's like we see a different side of him. But it's also not scary. He never gets scary. The movie never goes that direction. He just gets upset that somebody would violate his, he goes out of his way to try to create this fantasy in this world, and to make whoever it is that he's with feel special. And the fact that somebody like Emma Thompson's character would go to the lengths of actually, subverting their relationship and trying to break that trust, it clearly has never happened to him before. Although he did get a lesson from, at least in terms of safety, because it was somebody who at least wasn't crazy. I mean, if she could do it, somebody else could have done it. So that's the thing that the film never actually talks about. But it's probably better that it was her instead of somebody who could have done some damage. Since he does casually mention that he's been in some dangerous situations before. It's a delightful movie. I have no idea what Daryl McCormick looks like. He's a new breakthrough this year for me. I was shocked that he didn't win the breakthrough performance British actor. He was the only one that was nominated in an acting category. It's like BAFTAs broke the rule. Like, if you have a category like that and only one of those people is also nominated in the other categories, that is the person that wins, and or that's the film. You know, if you have an animated feature that's also nominated for Best Picture, it wins animated feature, not another film winning animated feature. Because it doesn't make any sense, because if that film was the best, then it would be the one that was nominated outside of the category. So Darren McCormick was the only one that was nominated outside the category. I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand what the voting body was trying to do there. Spread the love. They were like, well, Daryl was nominated outside, so we should give it to somebody else and look like idiots. I'm good with that. You good with that? Yep, I'm good with that too. That's how British people speak now, by the way, at the BAFTAs. But he's great. The film's great. I love it. Who knows what you might see it? Will it be in my top 10? Will it be an honorable mention? I gave more than 10 A's this year, so this is why I'm doing this. Is because I really do need this sort of clarity in my life. I did already re-review Banshees of Inisherin, and I mentioned that every once in a while, I rarely like to change a grade on a second viewing unless either time has not been kind to the film, and I'm like, what was I thinking? Or anything like that. I try not to come back around and fix it, so to speak. So I'm sticking with an A on this. I don't know that Good Luck to You, Leo Grande is, or Grande, however you want to say it. It's Grande, I believe. And I don't know that it's going to become one of my all-time favorites, but it's going to be a film that I remember fondly anytime it's brought up. Yeah, so that's what I learned I was very correct in giving it an A, and I'm very correct in keeping that A. So if you're wondering what grade it gets, it's an A. I'm not really talking about the audio description because I already talked about the audio description the first time around. The audio description is great. It focuses really well on the characters and their little choices and the little moments, the little flirtations. When they do get intimate, it lets us know sort of what's happening, you know, where he's kissing her, where he's touching her, the little choices that he makes. I love the little scene where he's just trying to reposition himself on the bed because she's taking so long in the bathroom, and he's like, do I sit? How do I sit? Which is the best way? Just, you know, little things like that really, I think, overall shape the performance. It's on Hulu with audio description, so it's one of those rare things where it's like, yay! But if somebody encountered this film and for some reason the audio description wasn't working, I would say this film is like mostly dialogue, so I wouldn't run from it anyway. Not that I advocate for watching films without audio description, but I know that some people are in different situations and they can't always. I don't think this is not something you probably would not be able to understand without audio description. So, but it's good that we have it because it actually makes the film better and completes it. It would be an uncompleted circle. It would just be some sort of like weird horseshoe thing without the audio description. And a horseshoe's a thing, I guess. I don't know, but it's not a circle. It's not as complete as a circle. Circles they just make you feel better. So, anyway, thanks for sitting through this second look at Good Luck to You, Leo Grande, a film that was not nominated for any Oscars this year, but I'd still watch it during Oscar week because, to me, it should have been somewhere, anywhere. It probably should have had a later release date, to be honest. I think if it had, it probably would have been in the conversation. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I like talking about films with audio description. I also have a website, macmoviiguy.com. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description, where you can watch it. You can go to the ADNA.org, ADNA.org. That's what that is, ADNA. This is what I'm saying, ADNA. You can look up your favorite narrators there. And you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MacTheMovieGuy. So I will review another film this week that is a rewatch. and you'll see another review. And until then, I'll see you on the other side.